That the former interpreter for baseball megastar Shohei Ohtani has been sentenced to nearly 5 years in prison. This is him arriving at the courthouse here, surrounded by just a crush of media. The sentence coming after the interpreter pleaded guilty to charges that he siphoned nearly $17 million off of Ohtani, all to help pay off apparently huge gambling losses. And prosecutors say Shohei Ohtani was just a victim in all of this, and that the interpreter impersonated Ohtani dozens of times over the phone with his bank in order to be able to take out money from his accounts. NBC's Steve Patterson is outside the courthouse in Santa Ana, California. I'm not kidding when I say 90 seconds ago. They told me right as we were coming back from break that the sentence is in. It is just under 5 years now, right?
You're not kidding. I literally ran there. We were in the top floor of the courthouse. So courtroom 10 on the 10th floor of the courthouse, ran down 57 months jail time. You're right, which is just under about 5 years. Recommended to stay in Southern California, not go into a different jail. But there is a 45-day grace period. So we'll have a little time with his family before he's remanded to jail, which will be here in Southern California. It was tense in there. I want to say, I think
tell me about it. What was it like?
To know. Yeah. Well, I think it's important to know, first of all, that the sentencing guidelines is based on the amount that was stolen, right? And this was no meager amount. As you mentioned, it's not like he stole 20,000, 40,000, $1 million, $2 million, $4 million, $10 million, $17 million. So actually, 5 years is a little bit lower on the end of what could have been recommended for the sentencing guidelines. The prosecution was going for what they believed was reasonable. That's the government, of course, going for what they believe was reasonable. Of course, Mizuhara wanted something a little bit lighter, maybe 18 months. The core of his argument, of course, was that he was really sort of beholden to this gambling addiction. Like, he could not stop gambling from the time that he was 18 years old until now, and because he knew Ohtani had access to his funds in his bank account, that he took advantage of that because of the environment that he was in. The judge really went line by line, picked that apart, and came to the conclusion that he did. But obviously, it's still probably heartbreaking for Mizuhara. I watched him as the judge read the sentencing, but no reaction, really sort of somber, sort of sober in what he heard from the judge.
Oh, no, Ohtani wasn't there, right? And I asked because it's not like these two were just, colleagues, right? They didn't have an employee-employer relationship. It was very different than that.
Yeah, they were friends. I mean, think about a person that you would feel close enough to entrust with all your bank accounts, to entrust with, your day-to-day business, to be your voice for everybody that you meet, including your teammates, including the organization, including people that, probably loaning you money, your house payments, all of that was taken care of by Mizuhara, picking up the mail, day-to-day things. But really, you're talking about very integral parts of your personal life. This was a confidant. This was more than just a friend. This is somebody that you trusted with your life. And I think, obviously that wasn't necessarily taken to interpretation because it was all about, again, the amount that was stolen. But you had to imagine it played a part here. But no Ohtani in court and no statement from him even after the sentencing was read. Callie?
Steve Patterson with all of that very much developing news for us tonight. Steve, thank you very much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.